Hey, thank you. Good morning, movers and shakers. So, I took my son out recently to get a job. I wanted him to start working, saving, learning about business, learning about people, getting out into the world, learning and growing. And so I said, hey, let's get a resume. Let's just stop in on stores. I want you to personally introduce yourself and we'll try to apply for some jobs. Well, we found out real quickly that all these companies want you to go back and apply online. They can't take your application at the store. They want you to apply online. I said, that's fine. We go back, we apply online, but I still want to get that resume. I want you to walk in. I want you to introduce yourself to the manager because I want you to stand out from the crowd. We're going to do the extra work so that you hopefully get hired. I actually hired somebody for that reason. I was getting all kind of resumes by email, resume, just pouring in through the email. I show up at the office one day, the receptionist says, hey, somebody stopped by for you today and she dropped off her resume. I hired her. So, wow, she's eager. She wants the job. She's putting forth that effort. So we did that with my son. And so many places just were not hiring. At Target, they don't hire people under the age of 18. Whole Foods didn't seem interested in hiring somebody under the age of 18. The ice cream shop didn't hire anybody under the age of 18. We went to Publix. We went to another Publix. We went to a third Publix. Finally, Christian walks up to Richard, the manager, and I'm just standing in the back. I just kind of just acted like I was dumb. I made him all the do it, and it was hard, Diane, because I'm not dumb. But I was just kind of like standing there, not saying anything. And he was up here. He spoke to Richard, and Richard hired him. A couple weeks later, I'm in the store, and I see Richard, the manager. I walk right up to him. I said, "Hi, I just wanted to thank you for hiring my son. I'm Christian's father." And he says, "Yeah," he says, when these young people walk up to me and they're able to speak for themselves and they sound just really good and he said, it just gets me right here." And he said, "I just knew that I had to hire him." He said, they don't want us hiring too many minors. We're limited on the amount of minors that we can hire. But I started when I was young, and the some of the higher ups in Publix, they started when they were 16, 17 years old. And when these young people come up to me and talk to me, I just can't say no, and I knew that I had to do it. Well, guess what, movers and shakers? That conversation gives us everything we need to know. It's very valuable information. And that conversation confirms something that I learned years ago, which is this, is that people don't make decisions logically. People make decisions emotionally, and then they back it up with whatever logic they can come up with. I'm in financial services. Clients call me all the time. They try to sound logical. Well, Brian, I was thinking this and this and this, and and they build up their reasoning as to why they want to do something a certain way. But I always hear the emotion behind it, the emotion that's driving the decision. I don't care how logical you think you are and how smart you think you are. You're a human being, and you make decisions emotionally. So if we know that, and if we know that business at its most basic form is sales, I don't care if you think you're doing tax returns or getting people divorced or fixing people's teeth, business is sales because people have to buy your product and service for you to even remain in business. When the sales stop and the revenue stops, business ends, and then we got to go back and get a job, right? So if we understand that business is sales, and if we understand that people make decisions emotionally, then wouldn't it behoove us in this group to want to learn how we can connect with people emotionally? That's what we've got to do. So how do we do that? Well, if you think you're going to roll in here at 7:30, it's 7:29, it's 7:25, you're going to roll in here and miss open networking and just come in here and do a 30-second commercial, and then you're out, and then you're not doing one-to-ones during the week. And if you think that 30-second commercial is sufficient for you to be able to connect emotionally with the members, you might be missing something. Emotional connections happen during open networking. I got to hug Hector this morning. I got to fist bump a bunch of people. You know, we laughed, we joked, we told stories about our lives. Hector's telling me how he's making a big change in his life and he might be moving. This is emotional bonding, emotional connecting. You walk in, you compliment somebody, you enjoy a cup of coffee together. You know, Pramon and I had a one-to-one last week. We're sitting there in Starbucks. I'm trying to explain my business to Pramon. All of a sudden, this guy over here interrupts. And he's like, no, that's not, it's this. This is what matters in financial services. And so I'm shocked. It was an emotional moment. I was like, this guy's attacking me in the middle of my one-to-one. I debated back. I did. I debated back with him, and it turned into this debate and this three-way conversation. And in the end, it worked very well. But the point is that was an exciting moment. It was an emotional moment. And that probably drove the point home to Pramon a lot better than what I was trying to say by myself. I mean, Pramon really got to say, okay, yeah, Brian is legit because this guy agrees that Brian's legit. And Brian was able to hold his own. I mean, it's